to NABJ's first journalist call for the Journalist Corner. We have Travis Washington meeting us today, and Tyra too. We're all excited, to ask you some questions about voting, and that's what we're here for. So, Travis, if you want to take it off, so tell us about yourself a little bit more.
Well, my name is Travis Washington. I'm a grad student studying education administration. I'm also the president of College Democrats on campus. I'm a strong supporter in registering people to vote. I recently had a register to vote EP's event where we registered more than 200 students to vote in one day. And I'm a firm believer that every individual has a voice that needs to be heard. Thank you.
Do you know what party you belong to?
I mean, for the most part, I feel, I'm in the Democratic area. I mean, I've never seen myself to be on the Republican side. I mean, like, they have their, all of it, to me, is opinion-based, if you ask me, like, as far as, like, what you believe in. But, like, I don't know. I mean, because, like, for example, I literally just found out, like, somebody that I'm really close to is an actual Trump supporter, like, hands down, And, I mean, you can't, like, they're hands down with it, like, point blank period, and you can't obviously change, what they think at all. I mean, if a person's going to think something, they're going to think that. So, I mean, but, like, with the way that the world's going, I am still going to vote and put in, my opinion, because I do want this world to change and be better. Like, I can only do that by voting. So.
I'm probably going to get lack for it, and, like, people are going to probably say a lot of things, like, what am I doing? I'm the president of College Democrats. It's redundant for me to say vote Democrats. And, of course, Travis Washington, me, of course I want Democrats to win, but when we focus too much on party, we forget about policy. And after the election, we shouldn't go home and say, oh, Democrats are the majority, hooray, let's rest. We need to focus on the policies and press our Democrats to vote for policies that benefit the country. Because once we relax and say, oh, Democrats have this, okay, then what? Well, I still don't have a job. My granny or grandma or grandfather's Social Security is being cut. My schools are still not being funded. My sidewalks still have potholes. Like I said, yes, I want the Democrats to win. Yes, I'm president of College Democrats. Yes, I'm a huge Democrat supporter. But once we focus too much on party, we forget about policy.
Okay, so you said everyone needs to be heard. So why would you say the midterms specifically are very important?
The main reason why I say the midterms are important because they determine the climate of the country. The midterm determines the political atmosphere in the country or which direction the country should focus on. The #1 issue in the United States, according to the Economic Anxiety Index in 2018, reported that healthcare is the #1. I mean, these political ads might feel like a break, but just because we have a break from TV doesn't mean we should be taking a break from the movement.
Oh, but I really do hate those political ads.
Oh, who doesn't?
Like the whole Make America Great Again. When was America ever great?
Never. Because my last name is Washington. I mean, that means somebody in my ancestral household was on. If you ask, I took Father Brown's slave narrative class. America wasn't great for Sojourner Truth when she was forced to have 11 kids and 9 of them were sold. America wasn't great when Denmark Vesey, who led the second greatest slave revolt in history, was somebody's cabin boy and had to deal with sexual abuse. America wasn't great when my granny, my hero, my granny, my Father Brown, another one of my heroes, Pat Matthews, my academic advisor, my next door neighbor, Mr. Banks, had to wake up every single morning dealing with the utter humiliation of seeing Blacks Not Allowed, Black's Water Fountain. So, and then not only that, when you have my cousin who was tortured by Chicago police officers when his testicles were tased, when you have somebody who was pregnant being punched in the stomach, when you have Emmett Till all the way to Trayvon Martin, when you have people in rural areas have to drive 100 miles to a hospital, when you have Mexican immigrants in detention centers, when you have a woman who can be sexually assaulted and told that they should not have dressed or walked or looked a certain way. How is that great? That's not right. I have friends that are women, and it's like, seriously? You have to deal with that type of sexist comment? So when somebody said, was America great? It tells me the one-dimensional white supremacist ideology they have, or a failure of our educational system as a whole. So when was it great? Maybe if I was in the top 1%. But other than that, no. No, we have so much more to improve on.
You know, Trump just hosted a Black conservatives party.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and, you know, there's openly Black people that support him. And I want to get your input of why can't Black people support him? Like, what doesn't make sense for a Black person to say that they support Trump?
One, they're grown men and women. They can do whatever they want.
Oh yeah, of course.
My thing is, I'm so happy you asked this question, because I've been formulating this answer for the past 2 years. The power of white supremacy, difference between a poor white supremacist and a rich one. So a poor white supremacist only has his white friends and white family members that support his hierarchy. A rich white supremacist has his brown and black best friend, his brown and black cousin, his brown and black auntie, his brown and black uncle, his brown and black baby mama, his brown and black baby daddy, his brown and black children to help support his hierarchy. Because a lot of people forget Jefferson Davis, the president of the Confederacy, wife was a black woman who enslaved people, and they also adopted a black child. Andrew Jackson, who slaughtered millions of Native Americans, adopted a Native American girl. The governor of Maine once said the police should shoot the bad guys, and those are the Hispanics and the black people. His son is Jamaican, right? So when I think about that, I mean, they have favorites. And I mean, once again, you're a grown man or woman. You have your right to choose, but a lot of African Americans feel so uncomfortable, once again, with their skin, that they're willing to degrade other people who have the same skin tone as them in order to feel like they're in a higher place. We cannot forget that. That's internalized racism that has been going on for centuries. And a lot of people subconsciously or consciously support white supremacy without even knowing it. And that's all I want to say. Thank you for having me on, and I appreciate every second of it. And I want to do this at least 15 more times. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was the end of our podcast. Thank you, Travis and Angela.
Be sure to join us next time on the next episode
on the Journalist Corner.